Pretty pumped about this week's podcast. With me, Corey Phillpott, and he's the man, the world record holder for the world's strongest marathon. How are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, did you run up here, pull a car up here? What did you do?
I wish.
Tow a plane? What did you do? How'd you get here?
I just drove.
Just drove up?
Just drove. I went for a run this morning, so that's okay.
Let's rip in here your story, mate.
Welcome to the Body Science Podcast. As always, the information contained in this podcast is for the information purposes only and is not designed to diagnose or be prescriptive to treat, prevent, or manage any injury, disease, or other health-related condition.
Welcome to Body Science, the world of fit, happy, healthy. And I'm going to throw on the end of that world's strongest marathon. Before we start, how are you? Good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Obviously you're sore because that's the state you live in.
Yeah.
Corey's actually up on the Gold Coast office because we're going to sign a contract together and we're going to do a lot of cool stuff together. And I'm really happy to announce that you're joining the team. I'm super pumped. I love what you do on Insta. What is your Insta account?
Corey Phillpott _.
Okay. For those people out there that can't spell like me, that's Corey.
Yep.
PHILLPOTT.
Yep.
And the reason to get on board and have a look at that, this guy is doing crazy shit. Like I've been in this fitness industry for 23 years, dealt with a heap of athletes, but you're the first one I know that's pulled how much did the car weigh?
1.5 ton.
1.5 ton for a marathon. Let's go. Last year I said a few times I'm going to do a marathon, and thankfully COVID happened. I couldn't do it. So I'm just throwing it out there. I couldn't do it. You didn't just do a marathon. You pulled a 1.5 ton car. Can you remind me how long that took?
16 hours, 12 minutes and 24 seconds.
And how many hours in did you start to wonder whether you were just stupid, had some issues, a lot of anger? Like which part came out first?
Yeah, the first 2 hours was the...
Was that the hardest?
Well, the first 2 hours when my whole leg started cramping, both my legs.
You got cramps in the first 2 hours and then went on for 16 hours.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting those cramps because they'd never happened that early in the training sessions.
Did you have some motivational person with you, or did you just grit your teeth and say, let's do it?
I just grit my teeth and a lot of motivation obviously behind the cause. That was massive, and that was the number one thing. Like the world record, I always said going into that event that the world record is just an added bonus. It was more than just a world record for me, so I just wanted to finish.
But you didn't just beat the world record, you did it with a heavier car. Is that right? Have I got that right?
100 kilos heavier.
100 kilos heavier. Is that just you couldn't be bothered taking your backpack out, or how come you left 100
kilos?
Well,
I wanted to try to, but we stripped the ute as much as we could. That's what it came down to. Well, for the first 3 or 4 hours, it was actually 1.6 because I had about a 95 to 100 kilo person sitting in the car steering. When I had a little hill in my course, and when I come up to that hill, I was just a couple hours in, I was like, get the F out, get out. And I need to make this a little bit lighter. So it was actually, for a little bit, it was 200 kilos more. Yes, then it ended up being around 1.5 after someone was in there.
So, mate, you're coming on as one of Body Science's unique extreme athletes. We don't have a lot of, we're very well known in, like Olympic sports, football codes, cricket, that type of thing. We've got another human who I need you to meet one day who's absolutely mad, and he skates on ice. So he's just crazy. One of the most intelligent guys I've ever met too. Like the two don't correlate when you talk to him. But from your perspective, you've got a bit of a mission and goal when it comes to extreme sport, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, one day I hope to be known as one of the fittest people or all-around people that have ever lived. I guess that's a long-term goal of mine and something that I aspire to be, and I've still got a long way to go. I'm only on the start of this journey. I'm only 24. So, yeah, it's going to be a long journey, and I still got a lot to prove. And I think with the help of Body Science and the history you guys have in Australian sports and the waves you're creating globally, will really help me, I guess, develop as an athlete, and also be able to help with my overall performance to be able to do these crazy things.
Yeah, mate, that's awesome. That's nice to hear. So you did your first marathon, and you did it for a charity? The first
like ever marathon?
No, the world record car pull.
Yeah. So we raised, I think it was $45,000 for Child Safe Australia, which help prevent child abuse.
Yeah, and that's not only you're doing great things, you're doing great things for others, and that's just that's just amazing. So where's it all going? Like we reconnected, I don't know, I think it was 3 or 4 months, like heavily. Like when I say reconnected, we spent a bit of time because you were having a lot of issues carrying around a 45 kilo log.
Yeah.
So what you were going to do like a...
Yeah, so I was going to do an Ironman with a 45 kilo log on my back. There was a couple people who have done...
sorry for laughing. I'm looking at the picture right now, like it's gold.
Yeah, it does seem a bit funny, and it looks a bit funny as well. There's a couple of people who have done a triathlon. So they've done just an Olympic distance triathlon with the tree. A full distance triathlon and Ironman is times 4 of that. So, or almost times 4 of that. So I thought I'd try and, one up them again a little bit. And that didn't go to plan. Training was all perfect. Training went completely well. Disappointingly on the day, we got 70 Ks into the ride and I started to get severe nerve damage down my hands and I couldn't hold on to my bike anymore. I was just in a lot of pain and I was ready to push through, but the medical team that we had there said permanent nerve damage is something you don't want at 24.
Glad you listened.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could have pushed through and I was saying I wanted to mentally push through but I was in that much pain in my wrists and shooting up my arms. Yeah. They basically said, just stop because you don't want that permanent damage. There's no coming back from that, especially at 24. It's not something that I want.
You're talking bike. So last leg? No, you had a run to go.
Yes, I had the run to go. So I was about halfway through.
So what happened to how come the wrists got affected? I could think of so many other parts of your body that log, because it is a big log.
The straps that I had that was supporting the log were coming straight down my
traps.
Gotcha. And there's 2 nerves that run down your neck and they go into each arm. I don't know the name of those nerves that pop down there, but that's basically what they were saying is I never had it during training, and maybe if I had have done it, ran with the log less or cycled with the log less in training, that damage wouldn't have come at that time. Yeah, could have been delayed, and I could have been a bit safer. They're just saying it was just wear and tear, and the more it just pulled and pulled and pulled. Yeah, your body just decided to say, "Hey, we don't like that."
I've got to give you full credit too, because you sent me some pictures in your training of your back, and you're like, "Oh, Greg, like I've got." And I looked at your back. It looked like someone had taken to you with a whip. Yeah. That's what it looked like. And he's like, do you think a compression shirt would make a difference? Well, after I pulled the crew in and we all stopped laughing, it was like we thought, you know what, let's do something. And we built you a piece that had protective layer.
Like almost a wetsuit material, wasn't it? It saved me.
It had wetsuit material and we put a piece of foam in the middle of that. But and that's the stuff we love doing. I mean, that's that's the cool part of our brand that nobody knows. But it was really interesting for you to spend that couple of times talking to you in that space, because you were not going to give up with what I would call, you should go to hospital and get your back checked, level of damage. And I mean, what drives you to do that?
I actually don't know. I love the achievement that comes at the end of pushing through those things. And I knew that, or I thought that this pain and the blisters and stuff I was getting at the back on my back when I was running with it from the backpack rubbing, that it was just a part of the process, and I might get a bit of scarring. And when I wasn't training and they were all pussy and my shirt was sticking to my back, I was like, yeah, well, this just is what it is. There's no other way around it, and I've committed to doing something like this, and not one to shy away or back down. And I just kept on saying to myself, it's part of the process. It's not just is what it is, and I was just going to push through. And that shirt, that singlet that we got mocked up was saved my back. There was one less bit of pain that I wasn't in. Yeah, it was just gliding.
Yeah, we should put the pictures up. They were revolting. It was. And what are you talking about? You just mentioned the word backpack. You actually had a backpack change to hold, and a 45 kilo log. That thing looks like a meter and a bit long.
It's about a meter and a half.
About a meter and a half long.
Yeah,
and it's sort of like half a telephone pole.
Yeah, so we had that log that you can see in the picture there, and then we actually went out and got a cut up telegraph pole that was a little bit shorter, but it was a little bit thicker as well. So that one was the longest ones of the logs. We ended up having 3 different logs, but yeah, they all strapped to the. It does sound funny.
It sounds funny. Sorry. This is the log you found in the just walking along, and that's when you said, "That's my friend. I'm going to do a."
Well, I had announced it, and then I went for a night walk with a friend. Yeah. And I was like, hang on a second, I found one. And they're like, oh, shit, here we go. And I found one, and that's the one I decided to keep with me. I lacquered it up so it floated in the water, and I kept it with me.
Still got it?
No, I don't have it now. No, I put that behind me. It gives me nightmares. Yeah, it gives me nightmares.
That's gold. What's happening next? Like, what's the next challenge?
Yeah, well, we're attempting the Tree Man is something that we've kind of put to the side just because of the pure damage that it was going to cause to my shoulders over the training.
Yep.
And the next thing we're going to attempt is the world's strongest Ironman. So it'll be a full distance triathlon. I don't know if I can call it Ironman. I might get in a little bit of trouble.
Shout out to the crew at Ironman. That's a great sport, and everyone should do one. The people I know that have done one think it's the greatest thing they've ever done.
Yeah, it's scary because I've never done one before, and I don't want to know what it's like before I do this. But a lot of people were saying, oh, should you you should do an Ironman beforehand. I'm like, no, I don't want to know because otherwise I'll be in more pain. Yeah, so we're attempting the world's strongest Ironman where I'll be pulling either a kayak with someone sitting in it or a dinghy for the swim, depending on the location. We're speaking with Penrith Council right now and Glenbrook Swimming Pools to try and toss up which we think is best. For the bike ride, we're going to be having 150 kilos in a trailer, and then we're going to be pulling a 900 kilo car for the marathon to finish.
Honestly, you're not a drinking man, are you?
No.
You have a bit of a story on that too. We'll catch up on that. But what made you think of that?
I want to do something that's a bit more than just pulling a car. So, like, I do have ambitions of doing the world's strongest 100 miler or the world's strongest 200 miler in one of the world's hottest places, whether that's in Dubai or in Death Valley or in the Nullarbor here. That's one of my ultimate goals as well. But I think I need to show to the world that I'm more than just someone that can pull a car, and doing 3 different disciplines is something that I think really stands out.
Sorry, I'm just looking at you going, this guy's mad.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the weights? Is there something you're putting yourself against in each of those disciplines, or
those weights is just something that we've written down. The training for that will be commencing very, very shortly. So during training, those weights might change depending on, and that's going on the max load of the trailer and the max load that a kayak will take if someone's sitting in there and how much a dinghy weighs. So we've tried to, the weight of the car we've lessened because I think pulling a 1.5 ton ute after doing all that, the venues we just can't get for that amount of time. So we've lessened the weight in that to, I think it's going to be around 800, 900 kilos, which is just basically the body of a car with no motor, or the weight of a Formula One car or something like that. So
can we just go through those again? So you're going to swim for, what is it,
3.8 Ks
with
either someone sitting in a kayak or a dinghy.
So around 100
to 150 kilos.
Yep.
And then
you're going to,
in the trailer,
you're going to ride with a trailer.
Yep, attached to me with 100 to 150 kilos in there.
So how's the trailer attached to the bike or you?
Yeah, it's just it's attached to the bike. Yeah. So I've got nothing over my shoulders until the carpool.
Yep.
And
then you put some shoulder. And
got the same harness that any that they use in the strongman competitions.
Yep.
And we'll be pulling the car for 42 Ks to finish.
I really don't know what to say after that. Is there anyone in the room that's got any ideas? Like, I'm just blown away.
It'll be pretty cool.
That's awesome. Like, it's I really want to know, who do you sit with to design your programs to be able to do that, because they are a genius.
Yeah, I've got a very high performance coach, Marcus Smith, over in Dubai. So he helps me out a lot. He's getting me ready for my 200K race in July, and then we'll be heading straight into training in September.
So another 200K race in July. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I got Elephant Trail 217 Ks, I think it is, and that's in July, and that is one of the toughest races in Australia. In its 4 or 5 year history, no one's ever been able to complete it before. Yeah, I've been invited as an ambassador on to try and be the first one to complete it.
So why has no one completed it?
It's too hard. 217 Ks, I think it's 13,000 meters elevation.
Ooh.
Yeah. So almost.
Is there a time limit, or was it just finished?
Yeah, 48 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
So basically you have to do 5Ks an hour nonstop. If you don't get 5Ks an hour for 48 hours, you won't complete it.
I'm fist pumping on like a 5K run when I'm doing 5Ks an hour. Like, I am fist pumping.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there. You don't look like a runner.
No, I don't. Yeah. I'm currently weighing in 95 kilos.
What do you reckon your run weight will be?
I'm going to try and get down to 85 for that. Yeah. And then I'll try and bump up to about between 90 to 95 again for the Ironman.
Wow.
Yeah. Because weight pushes weight when I get on the bike and the carpool and stuff. So the swim's the easy part in the Ironman, because it's start and you just go and swim. I find swimming quite easy, but running is something that I really have to try and dial in, especially being at this weight and running long distances. Running obviously isn't my forte with my joints and stuff like that. It's just something that you just have to push through. I always just say one foot after the other.
Yeah, nice. I say that to myself on 5Ks. Especially the first 10. When you're in that 217, is that a group of you leaving at once to do that, or are you solo? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so a group of us will leave at once,
yeah,
but we probably won't all keep the same pace. We'll probably stick together for the first couple loops. It's actually 25 or 27.5K loops.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just see how it goes. I know some pretty good runners that were in it a couple years ago and weren't able to complete it.
Because you'd have to have so many strategies in place for that to work.
Yeah.
Including giving yourself some time.
Yeah, exactly right. So you got to be able to pace yourself so you can still have a little bit of breaks and stuff like that. So, I mean, hiking up a hill, you're walking at like 12-minute pace. Like you're not walking very fast. And I've seen guys who have completed 300-kilometer races before get to Elephant Trail and not be able to do it. So
and
it's going to be a tough one.
Is Elephant Trail an actual trail or is that the name of the event?
It's the name of the event.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it's so hilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that by invite only?
No, it's not invite only. So anyone can sign up. They've got so many different distances that you can sign up for, but the 200 is the biggest. They probably have about, well, not the biggest. It's the longest race they have, but they probably have about 30 people that go into it. I think they're up to like 28 signed up for this year.
Is that right?
Yeah, and they believe that the runners they have lined up, they'll have someone complete it this year, but they've said that the other years, and anything can happen in ultra running.
I can't believe it. Nobody's finished it.
Yeah.
You don't hear of many events or things that are on these days where it's a...
Yeah, no one's ever finished it.
Yeah, like no one's ever finished it.
No, I'm hoping to be the first.
What will the temperature be? Is that going to come into play as well?
Yeah, well, it's in the middle of winter. Last time I went there and did the 100, I ended up pulling out with knee problems. I hyperextended my knee about 85 k's in. And
devastating. Yeah,
I was running down a hill, and when I was running down the hill, just clobbered over, went over the top of myself. Yeah.
How far from help were you?
I was still like 6 or 7 k's from help, so I still had to hobble through. Yeah, that was okay. Once I finished that loop, I was like, I don't think I can go again. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
ended up pulling out.
A good call, just quietly between us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I did some damage, but I didn't really assess it. I just kept on going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are mad. Like I'm going to say it all day. You're just mad.
I love that.
So let's talk a little bit about mindset. Do you have a mindset coach?
Yeah, my coach is a mindset coach as well.
Okay, so mindset coach.
Yeah, so he's like a high performance coach. He looks after absolutely everything. He runs a gym over in Dubai called Inner Fight, and their basically slogan is show no weakness.
Yep.
So he has this thing where it's called the ultra mindset, and he has this thing called, it says it's the ultra mindset, and it's admit, reject, relax, what now? So admit is like admit that something's going wrong.
Yep.
And then reject is saying, no, this isn't happening. So you've accepted it.
Yep.
Now you're saying, go away. Relax is take a deep breath and just assess what's going on. And then what now? What can I do now to push through this pain? And that's basically the 4 pinnacles to the ultra mindset.
Wow.
It's basically something since the World's Strongest Marathon that I linked up with Marcus after the World's Strongest Marathon to see how he can benefit my performance. And basically I heard him tell me about the ultra mindset, and something that I just live by right now, because it gets a bit tough when you're when I'm in training and things go wrong, and I've got a young family to look after as well. I'm working full time, so training does get a little bit hectic, and some sessions I miss, and I've got to just overcome those things.
So let's tap on that. So you've got a full 40-hour. You're providing for a family. You're not a sponsored athlete that has
not yet.
The joy of being.
Yep.
Well, that's a tough gig, mate.
Yeah, it's all part of the journey. I think that I got a lot to prove, and I think the time will come where I'll be able to be a full-time athlete. So
yeah,
and I solely believe that time will come all in good times. Just got to put trust in the process and keep on doing what I'm doing, and I'll get time to enjoy being a full-time athlete one day.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's all a part of the journey.
Truly, truly amazing. So that balance between work, life, and then training, is that something your coach is working on you with as well, or is he just playing in that training aspect?
Yeah, so he basically just says, these are the 2 main sessions that I need you to get done this week, no matter what. If you have a hectic week at work and a hectic week with family, these 2 main sessions is what I need you to get done. And I get those 2 done. And if I might do 10, 12-hour day some days, and I just can't get in a session that day because I get up in the morning and train at 2 a.m. before work, and then try and do some stretching or running in the afternoon and stuff like that. So it gets a bit hectic. I got to do 5 strength sessions a week and 4 run sessions a week. So it doesn't always work out like that, and he knows that, and it's all a part of the journey. And that's why he accepts that without my family, this journey is nothing, so
never better said, mate.
I don't want to be one of those athletes that leaves their family behind and be selfish, and I think I've seen a lot of people come down and get divorced and all that kind of stuff because of that. And I've always said to him that my family's number one priority. And I think that when I get to these events, I miss that session, but it makes the event a tiny bit harder. But I think when I look back and I complete these things, it's like, wow, look what you've achieved with your family standing there right beside you the whole time.
Yeah.
My wife, she's so supportive. Like she's like, yeah, go, because I feel obliged to stay at home and no, you need help. Like you're struggling a little bit. It's okay. Like I'll just miss out. And she says, no, go. You need to do this. Go. You're
That's
fine.
epic.
Yeah. So yeah, I love it. And it gets hard sometimes, and obviously training on minimal sleep isn't something that athletes really want to do. But as I said, it's all a part of the journey and makes it ever so special when I complete these things.
Yeah, mate, it's unreal. And have you lined another charity up for your, what do you call it? Have you got a name for
the event?
Your kayak tow,
the world's strongest Ironman.
That's where we're going with that?
Yeah, I think we're going to go with that, but I just don't want to get pulled up by Ironman and say that this isn't an Ironman event. That's the one thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, true.
So I think might call it the world's strongest full distance triathlon. Not 100% sure. Or the world's strongest triathlon and just put the distances in there.
Yeah.
So we got different things of how we're going to market it. We just don't want to get in trouble from Ironman. That's all.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think if it's shining a light on Ironman, though, they shouldn't have a problem with it.
Well, yeah, I can't answer that because I'm not Ironman. But
yeah, that's it.
We'll hook you up with Sharon because we were sponsoring Ironman, so she can probably have a chat and find out where they sit on that just quietly.
Yeah,
maybe make an intro.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Imagine if you could do it at one of their events.
Yeah, well, I was going to try and link up with the triathlon to try and do the Tree Man at a triathlon event, and they just said it's too much logistically. Yeah, just that you have to do.
There would be a lot of risk.
It'd be cool to have Ironman's backing and just a single event of me. Like, it'd be pretty cool. Might be some pretty cool promo for Ironman. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, there's only one way to find out.
Exactly. What's the long-term goal here? Like, you want to be, you said before, you want to be Australia's fittest athlete, I think?
I'd like to be, I think I'd like to be up there with some of the greats of the world's fittest athletes, all-round athletes that have ever lived, you know? I think that'd be a pretty cool name to have. I've still got a long way to go, but I think that'd be the ultimate goal, is to leave this legacy of he just did the craziest shit and pulled it off, like literally epitomized like pushing the body to the absolute limit and just didn't stop. So still got a long way to go, but I feel like with the necessary progression and the necessary training that I have lined up and these goals that I've set myself, I think that in a few years we can get there.
Yeah, mate. I can see you're going to do it too, just quietly.
Well, the ultimate goal is to obviously, I can't do it without, I can't get to that stage without taking this on full time. So I think it's almost impossible. And, you know, my coach looks at it now that it's almost impossible to train for the things that I'm training for without doing it full time. So basically, I think my training week is like almost a 30-hour training week on top of, you know, a working day.
Yeah.
A working week. So like it's almost working 2 full-time jobs. So yeah, it gets a bit difficult, but it's all part of the journey. And I think we will get there one day in a few years. I have a 10-year plan, so I think we'll get there.
Nice. And mate, if anyone's out there and listening to this is one of those corporates that loves getting behind like an Aussie battler, how do they contact you or how do they get involved to get into support? I mean, there's 2 sides of support here. You do a lot of charity work. I'm not talking the charity work. I'm talking you, your family.
Yeah.
How do they get in to support that?
Yeah, they can. I've got a manager of AFA. They come and help me out a little bit with all the management side and doing the deals and all of that. But you can contact me directly, you know, just via email, philpottcorey@gmail.com.
So PHILLPOTT.
Yep.
Corey
at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
That's it.
Because we got your Instagram account wrong before.
Did you?
Yeah, you're blaming me. It's your Insta account, mate. I'm only joking. I'm just reading down here that you've got a little underscore at the end of your...
Yeah, I said underscore.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, we got it right.
Take it back. We got it right.
Yeah, we got it right. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I appreciate all the support that
I don't even know my own Instagram account, mate. Like, I'm old. Like, seriously. Throw me a bone. What did you say? You were 24?
24, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're all over it. I'm more than double you. God, I'm old.
Oh, and you still look the same age as me.
Oh, that's really nice. We should insert a collagen ad right there for everyone who wants to know. Like, yeah, I'm not going to mention Verisol collagen is the best for skin, but all you people out there in the know, you'll be smashing a lot of our collagen just quietly.
Yeah, I hope so.
You'll be pretty much bathing in it, I reckon.
I hope so.
Yeah, so.
I'm looking a bit old. I get told that I'm like 35, 40.
No, that's when you look at like the collagen we've got the skin, the joint, and the tendons and ligaments peptides.
Yeah.
But a lot of people laughed at me when I put the skin side in there and said, you're just going to confuse it. But you talk to a rugby league player about their skin, mate.
Yeah.
They got rashes everywhere. They got
100%.
skin problems everywhere. Look at your back. Yeah. You know, we got to heal that stuff.
Yeah.
And that all happens from the inside out, not the outside in. So you rub moisture on, that's nice.
Yeah.
But the healing happens from the inside out.
Yep.
So that's where, although we put the word beauty on it because I do want people who are interested in beauty to know they can take the product. It really is the best 3 peptides for I think, an athlete or someone who's physically challenging themselves.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I've never tried it, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
So many good things. coming your way. Are you going to work with us are we going to work with you on your nutrition, or have you got someone in that place?
100%.
So Tatiana will be all over that. She loves endurance athletes. I mean, there'll be nothing that she can reference to this.
Yeah.
So it'll be really interesting looking at that place too, because I think that's a really cool part that we can do together is hydration, the whole thing. I mean,
it'd be interesting because when I went and when I was training for the world's strongest marathon, I did try and hit up a few nutritionists and stuff like that. And, I need to work out, how many calories I'm burning and how much I need during these events. And they're like, literally, unless we come out and like test you during your training, we don't know because you're just pulling a car and it's like, we can't test for that.
Did they say you're just pulling a car?
No. They say you're pulling a car. Sorry.
Sorry. No, mate, we'll be all over that like a rash.
Yeah, I love it.
Like your old back.
Yeah, I love that.
How's it look now? Is it all healed up?
It's all healed up.
Yeah, nice. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on. I mean, obviously, anyone out there in corporate Australia that can get behind this man, he is a great young human. He's got some big plans. I think it's really cool that you've got some direction from some external people who have done these types of things before. That's, you often speak to a lot of people who just have a big heart. You've got a plan which shows to me that you're very serious about where you're going with this.
Yeah, definitely.
And mate, we're here for you, whatever you need. It's on.
No, I'm so proud and so pumped to be a part of the BSC family. It's been taking the supplements for a while now, so it's pretty cool.
No, I'm stoked too, mate. It's good having good people in the brand. We just love having good people.
Yeah.
And you're good people.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
Let's go sign a contract.
Yeah, let's do it.
Legend. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.